Greetings. We are back again. Run Tell that. And this is the Coach Sam Carter edition right here. Coach Sam Carter edition, bringing that history again with regards to sociological stuff, with regards to physical stuff. So they all this interwoven together. So that's what we're going to deal with. And so I got to throw out a little dedication to my grand aunt, Sadie Smith, Andrew Smith. Got to throw it out there. And so guess what? I know y'all don't want to hear from me right now. Y'all want to hear from Coach Carter. Wait a minute, Coach Carter. What's going on? We can't even understand you. You kind of silent, Coach Carter. You are silent. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Street. Flow. Hard. Heart beating. Blood. HBJ. Hi, HBJ. Oh, blood. But we got red. Okay. Blood. You just squeezed my arm. Like pressure. High HBJ pressure. High blood pressure. I got it.
Don't play charades with Dr. Jamal. You might not win. High blood pressure. The silent killer. High blood pressure. The silent killer. That's what we're talking about today. High blood pressure. The silent killer. Because here's the thing. You don't walk around with high blood pressure. There's no symptoms. Until you go get checked by blood pressure cuff, you go, and then there's no symptoms. It's like with high blood pressure, you're just like, I'm good, you feel good. And then doctor's like, blood pressure. Now, we know regular blood pressure is 120 over 80. Right. The 120 stands for the systolic, the 80 is the diastolic, the bottom. And the 120 is when there is, so you have in your heart, you have on the left side, you have the ventricle, right? And ventricles are pushing. Those are going to push the blood around your body like that. Push and then relax. So the push, how much pressure is in the arteries when the push? Because the veins come back to not a whole bunch of pressure in the veins, in the arteries, right? So the push, and then, and then relax, how much pressure is in the heart when it's relaxed. But it's a better illustration. I'm gonna give Dr. Jamal, and we got balloons, and we're gonna do this. Go ahead. All right, good. And so here we go. Push. How much pressure? Push. All right, and then relax. Push and relax. Push and then relax. Push and then relax. Push and then relax. Push and then relax. And that goes on, Dr. Jamal, all your life. Okay. All right, billions of heartbeats, over and over. Ain't no think about it. This just happens. Heartbeat over. It's just a push and then relax. Push and then relax. Push and then relax. All right? But what happens is this. As you get older, right? You gotta push and then relax. There are certain things that get in your way. For instance, one of the things that get in your way is when you are stressed. All right? Stress can cause your blood pressure to go up, like playing sports, lifting weight, blood pressure go up. What happens is it comes down eventually. Blood pressure comes down, push, relax. And we know that we can't come when we're stressed out. All right, we're stressed out. Blood pressure goes up, blood pressure comes down. It's the average. If your average is 120 over 80, you're fine. Anything above 140 over 90, your blood pressure is considered to be high. But you can have blood pressure. If you take somebody's blood pressure and they're working out, you're going to have high blood pressure. You take somebody's pressure and a loved one died. That loved one, mama died, daddy died. you're going to have your blood pressure going to go up. Stress. You just start a new business, or you just left it. It's just stress. Things happen. Blood pressure going to go up. You're going to see the doctor. The blood pressure going up. You check somebody's blood pressure on a stressful situation, it's going to be up. Right. But the thing is, what you got to understand is this. It's the average over a period of time. Because people say my blood pressure's up. Yeah, but you'd expect that to be up. Right. Because you just, something try to have more stress in your life. Right? So you push, and you go. Push, let me in there. Push, there. But, Dr. Jamal, here's the thing with the stress. Here's the thing. If your blood pressure is up and your life is stressful and it stays up and you do not handle that stress well, if you cannot handle that stress well, what happens is heart attack, stroke.
Whoa.
That's what happens.
It's gone.
Blood pressure.
It ain't no good.
That's what happens to your artery. That's what happens in your brain. That's what happens in your chest. That's what happens. That's what happens. Unchecked blood pressure due to stress. Due to stress. Okay, here we go. Now, there you go, Dr. Jamal. Also, what else makes blood pressure go up? Dr. Jamal, here we go again. We up. There you go. Now, we're living. All right, here we go. Ready? Let's start this experiment again. All right, here we go. Pump, 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 pump. Here we go. Systolic, diastolic, systolic, diastolic, systolic, the pressure on the top, diastolic. Another thing to help your blood pressure go up, smoking. Huh? If you smoke, the definition of a cigarette, Dr. Jamal, ask me what the definition of somebody who smokes cigarettes. Please ask me.
I've been smoking. I can't blow this. So, what's the definition of a cigarette, sir?
The definition of someone who smokes cigarette is paper, tobacco in it, rolled up, fire on one end, a fool on the other end.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. You
Dr.
try to say I'm
Jamal, if you smoke, systolic, diastolic, systolic, diastolic, systolic, diastolic. The systolic is 120, the diastolic is 80. That's normal. If you smoke, that would make your systolic go up. That would make your diastolic, when your pressure is supposed to be relaxed, go up. Pressure, systolic, diastolic, systolic, diastolic. Dr. Jamal, systolic, diastolic. Now, if you smoke, Dr. Jamal, put air in the water balloon. Put air in the balloon, blow away air in the balloon. If you smoke, if you are a smoker, it will cause your blood pressure to go up. Dr. Jamal, if you are a smoker, it will cause your blood pressure to go up. It will cause, and you'll keep going, you'll keep going, you'll keep going, you'll keep going, and you are a smoker, and it's a silent killer, and next thing you know, you'll be walking, and then there's your high blood pressure, and boom! Blood pressure in the brain causes stroke, heart attack, systolic, diastolic. Systolic is the top number. That's the number of pressure exerted. You want to keep that close to 120. You don't want it to be over 140 over a period of time. You don't want the diastolic to be above 80. You want it to be below 80 or at 80. When you get to 90 or 100, now when your pressure is supposed to be at rest, because you smoke, what happens is, then, boom, that happens. Okay, here we go. Third situation. All right, now, there's your blood pressure. Here we go. All right, let's go back. This is your heart rate. The ventricle, left ventricle. All right, here we go. Let's go again. Systolic, diastolic. Systolic, diastolic. Systolic, diastolic. Systolic, diastolic. Now, you eat what you want to eat.
It's a free country.
Yeah, but you eat what you want to eat.
It's a free country. I should be eating, but
I
want to
eat. From 0 to 25, we said before, your body will take care of you. But 25 and over, you got to take care of your body. So you eat what you want to eat. And the thing is, grandmama cooking is good. Yeah. Grandmama cooking, but we like the with greens, and we like the collards, and we get especially, and we like, the candy yams, and we like, all the fried chicken, and we like the
Yes.
fat. We like the smothered, the pork chop. We like the beans and the rice. We like the neck bones and hallmark. We like all that stuff.
You
We
gotta
like-
season my rice and season my
you gotta
vegetables.
season it up. Ain't no seasoning in this. Ain't no seasoning. But the silent killer. But the silent killer, systolic, diastolic. Let's go. Here we go. Ready? Here's the balloon. Systolic. This is your artery. Systolic, diastolic. Systolic, diastolic. And what happens is when blood is flowing through your arteries, and as a period of time, you get little tears inside of your arteries. Now, that food that you're taking in, that high fat, that high cholesterol food that you're taking in, now gets caught up into those cracks. All right? Now they get caught in there. Now they get not that long. All right? So let's go. Systolic, diastolic. Systolic, diastolic. Systolic, diastolic. Systolic. Hey, hold on. Now, you've been eating what you've been wanting to eat for 40 years. You've been eating grandmama food. You've been eating all of it. And guess what? Heart attack. Stroke. That is.
You trying to say
Systolic.
my fried chicken doing
Systolic. Blood pressure. Makes you.
my seasoned vegetables. My seasoned food in my vegetables.
Right. It creates more.
I got half a spoke they call in my
But it creates more volume in the blood. So now the blood is being squeezed. So now, not only is your artery being closed because the cholesterol and the fat is collecting on the inside of the artery and it's closing to close in, but now also the blood is being thicker, the viscosity of the blood, so it causes a heart attack or a stroke. Systolic, diastolic. Systolic, diastolic. The top number and the bottom number. You want the numbers down. The silent killer. But we ain't finished.
I'm about to say, so you're saying like I got like thick, like oil that me, but in a car that's like thick and dirty.
Yeah.
Oh,
This guy. Systolic, but we not finished. Here we go. There you go. Go run, tell lip. Now, Dr. Jamal. Silent killer. Silent killer. All right, so we talk about the stress. Silent killer, right? You got it? Stress. You got that? All right, now, that's me. Now, Dr. Jamal, you going systolic? That's your blood bleeding. And guess what? You ain't doing nothing. You ain't exercising. Your body, the God, look, you got 2 arms, you stand up straight, you have 2 legs, hands. You are built to go from 0 to 60. They have cars that go from 0 to 60. The best is 3 seconds. Human beings can go from 0 to 60 in much faster than a car. You are built to move. You're built to climb and jump and run. From 0 to 25, then you start not doing it. All right, systolic, diastolic. So now, at 25, you start gaining those 2 or 3 pounds. And you start putting on weight. With that weight, you start putting on weight. You start putting on more weight. Systolic, diastolic. And you're pumping millions of times over a lifetime. You're pumping. You're putting on weight. And your kidneys are trying to do the best they can. You can direct reflect between your kidneys and your blood pressure. Your kidneys are doing everything they can to keep that pressure down. Your kidneys they're filtering all that water off. They're filtering that water because you're retaining, because you're not doing nothing. You're not burning nothing. You ain't keeping nothing off. You're not burning. So the food you take in, you are not burning off. The big secret is this. If you just watch out for the kind of food you eat, which means that if you cut down on your refined foods, cut down on boxed food, you eat close to nature, you pretty much can almost eat what you want to eat. We talked about that, 30 meals a week. You can get 27. I'm going to 3 of them. You get, but you got to be moving. You are designed, Jamal, you are designed. You should be doing, they basically say 30 minutes a day for 5 days a week. I say you can do an hour. If it's that important to you, if you want systolic, diastolic. And the secret is, I have so many people coming to me and like, they work out so hard so they can eat what they want to eat.
Right, yes, sir.
I mean,
Yes, sir.
the truth be told.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, you got to kind of watch what I work out this so I can enjoy my eating. And so your body, but if you're not, and you are 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, overweight. That's a lot of pressure, especially on your kidneys. That's a lot of work for your kidneys to be doing. That's a lot of work. And so it causes your high blood, it causes that silent killer pressure to go up. And with pressure, the more pressure, the more. Watch this. This is a great example. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this.
See, Coach Carter ain't understanding that we got churn we raising, we got stuff at work, we got stuff in the community. So when we get home, all we can do is just go and lay down and just sit down, look at the news, and that's all we got. Then maybe go look at some Netflix. And so we gotta enjoy our food. See, Coach Carter ain't understanding that. That's why, we might gain that 2 or 3 times. Again, we got a bunch of stuff happening.
Right, but the thing is,
I'll let him go back.
That's right. But the thing is, what Dr. Jamal got to say about all those excuses is this. If they don't have you around, all that falls apart anyway. If you're not around, what are we gonna do? If you're not around, so if you don't take care of yourself, the greatest motivation is for you to take care of yourself so you can be there for your baby. And you are designed. The Lord puts on a design to have children, and then also help our children raise their children and be around. That's what we designed. We're designed for that. We're designed for that, to be around. But if you're not around, and you don't work 40 years or 30 years or whatever, and then now you're gonna retire, but you got blood pressure like this, you got pressure like this. This is just a ticking time bomb. That's why there's no warning signs for this. There's no warning. Now I'm gonna ask you, watch this. Now this is 128. Now watch this pressure. Watch that. Watch that. Hold that, Dr. Jamal. Now watch that. Now look at that. That's 120 over 80. That's 120 over 80. That's 120 over 80. That's 120 over 80. No pressure. What's the difference? Pressure, low pressure. Pressure, 120 over 80. Pressure, that's 140, that's 150, that's 160. Look at this. 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 You're not getting this nowhere else. Go run tell that. Go run tell that. Go run tell that. 120 over 80. This is somebody with high blood pressure. This is somebody with normal blood pressure. This is somebody with high blood pressure. Now you look at the difference. Hold it close so they can see it, Dr. Jamal. You see the difference? You see the difference, people. You see the difference. This is why your doctor, we want you here. You know why? Because we can do this all day long. We can do this all day long. No pressure inside those arteries. No pressure inside your head and your brain. No pressure. No pressure. Even when you're stressed out, pressure. No pressure. No pressure. Because you have a blood pressure that's 120 over 80. This is 140 over 90. This is 150 over 100. This is the difference. And so when these two interact, when things happen, this is the pressure inside your arteries. This is the pressure inside your arteries. Which one is going to burst?
This is when I don't have to deal with Bernard Brown and Julius Hall. This is when I got to deal with Bernard Brown and Julius Hall. Woo! I understand. Thank you, Coach Carter. I understand. That's why. Okay, I'm back to it.
Bernard Brown and Julius Hall must be hell. And so you see the difference. And so when Dr. Jamal holds these things in front of you, you see which one you want to be. Do you want to be this pressure or this? So now we've explained the pressure. We've explained what causes the blood pressure. We explained the different things. When we eat, when we live our life, when we stress, things happen in our life that causes you to have high blood pressure. But it's a silent killer. Because nobody knows. You just walk around, and it's like, it's quiet. But we know that Dr. Jamal, we know he's going to bring the social. But what I want to say is, I'm always going to give you a solution to the problem. You know what the solution to this problem is right here? The solution to the problem of it is this. But you know what? Eat fruits and vegetables, whole grains, exercise regularly, meditate, go pray. The world said meditate. We say pray. We say pray. we say pray. We'll meditate, pray. All right, have real lifelong friends. Have friends. Dr. Mark, when we say it was a lifelong friend you embrace, they went to a school that we won't name, the school on Duran. All right, have lifelong friends. That helps your pressure. So you got good pressure, you got bad pressure. You got good stress and bad stress, right? But the good stress helps us to be able to handle the bad stress, all right? And so these are factors. So exercise, eating well, having to get up and doing something on the regular. To retire and not do nothing, Dr. Jamal, get up and have something to do. Have something to do. Have to stand for something. Get up and have something to do. Have friends. Meditate. Believe in a higher power. Be around younger people sometimes. I tell her one of the things you can have a good thing you can have to help you work out. You at your age, at the 35, 40, 45, 50, you can afford a gym membership. And our group is growing. Our group is growing.
You're going to say something about that, John. You're going to say something about that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We up to about 8. We up to about 8. We're going to start. We up to about 8. We announced it. We up to about 8. They're ready. We up to about 8. We're going to start. Okay. Our group is going. But anyway, so what I suggest when I'm speaking in conference, I say, look, you can afford a gym membership. That 21, 22, 23 years old probably cannot afford it. They're in there because they got a pass or they got a free membership. What I say is, why don't you go to them, offer to pay your membership, and you got a workout partner.
Okay.
I'll pay your membership to this gym. Me and you work out together.
Okay.
You're 40. You're established. You're 45. You're 50. You got a small business. You work for a business. You're 50. That 18, 19-year-old, they got all the energy, but they don't have a whole bunch of money. You pay that $30, $40, $50 for their membership. Everybody can't get here or get with Dr. Jamal or get me. But what you can do is you say, you know what, young person, I see you regularly. You ought to do, or if you have the membership, I will buy your smoothie for $3 after workout, and me and you work out 3 or 4. My benefit is they ask me, say, Coach Carter, what is the best supplement to take? I said, the best supplement for me, I work out with 19 and 20, 21. I invite them to work out with me. You cannot beat it. They bring the energy. Here they go. Here they come. So half the time I'm like, but you know what? Here they come. So I know I got to do it. Yes, sir. My wife, my wife would tell them when we walking out the house sometimes, them young ones come to visit me, and they'll say, Keisha say, y'all don't hurt my son. I mean, my husband. And then they'll say, hurt him, and him hurt us. And so what I'm saying is, this is a technique. I use this technique. I invest in the young ones, and they put back in me.
Yes, sir. That's right.
I invest in the young one, put back in me. So that also helps our blood pressure. Also, being around young people helps. Understanding, engaging helps. Exercise and take care of yourself. Never retire. Always have something to do helps. Eating a plant-based meal with some meat. I don't eat personally meat until Dr. Jamal said until lunchtime, 12 o'clock. That helps. You've seen the exercise video. If you have seen Dr. Jamal exercise video, please watch his exercise video. You can't do jumping. You're not jumping 24-inch boxes and 48 pounds like Dr. Jamal. You're not doing bench squatting 265 pounds and bench pressing 135 pounds. That's what. But you know what? He wasn't always doing that. He wasn't always doing that. So we got to work on it. It was one time he was doing one. The best time for you to start was 20 years ago. But the second best time is right now. The best time for you to start was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You're right. You're right. The best time for you to start it. But you know what the second best time is? Right now. Right now. Right now. And you don't need for me or Dr. Jamal to come and hold your hand or anything. Because we understand this ain't going nowhere. This ain't going nowhere. This is going to happen if you want it to or not. Yeah. This is going on. Now, which pressure do you want? This is 120 over 80. This is above 140 over 90. Which one do you want? Which one do you want? Now, we said it from the beginning. I am not a doctor. Dr. Jamal is he's an educational doctor. I am not. But before you get started with any exercise program, before you try to seek your doctor, seek your doctor and say, hey, this is what I want to do. The medical provider. But you come here, you tune into us to get inspired and say, like, and you can ask questions and but this is what we here for. We here put it in layman's terms. This is pressure, and this is the silent killer. And this is not just the white person or the white person, this is everybody. It's the silent killer. People walk around with a high blood pressure, but there are no symptoms. They don't feel anything, and it's like, and the next thing you know, it's inside the arteries, and pop, it pops. Yeah. It pops. So what we do is reduce the amount of seasonings and salts that you have in your body. Eat as close to nature. So what we say is, and you've heard it said before, as close to nature. So the way it grows on the ground, eat as close to that as possible. Eat as close to that as possible. For example, you can grow greens. Yes. Cut it, you can eat greens. Cauliflower, cut it, eat the cauliflower. Can you grow spinach? Yes, cut it, I can grow. Right. Can you grow Coca-Cola? Can you grow a hot dog? Can you grow that? Right. And then once you can grow, you add the least amount of ingredients to it. You don't need as much seasoning. Reduce the amount of seasoning you have. We have it because when we were born, we were young. We were, eating satisfied because the food does not disappoint us. The food doesn't lie to us. The food doesn't steal from us. The food doesn't cheat on us. The food is always there. And so we use that food for comfort. We identify with food at Thanksgiving. We identify with food at Christmas that sit all around the table because we measure our love of how we can sit and eat. And we measure because we can provide and we can help. And so in our mind, that food is telling us positive is good. And as long as you eat, and in some society, and Dr. Mark can speak to this more in the history, is in some areas, the bigger you are in some countries, because you can afford stuff, you're more apt. They look at you as like, you can afford, so you're looking as high in your community. But what we're telling you is that in this world, in America, this first world, America, this Western industrial age America with the kind of foods we have, and they're not walking around and not exercising and not going to walk regular every day, it's killing us. It's killing us. And here's the big secret. We've said it over and over and over. The same thing you do to fix their wreck back. The same thing you do. All right, to fix the kidneys. The same thing you do to fix the obesity. It's the same thing you do to fix the high blood pressure. The same, it's all the same. You're doing the same. It's amazing. The same fix for all of it. It's the same fix. It's the fix we teach. Eat well, exercise, de-stress, have something above you. Most people say God or something that you believe in. Have something. Have friends. Smile. Be friendly. You want to show yourself friendly? Be friends. That's how you make friends. De-stress. Don't retire. Seek something out that you can do to help others. You want better health? You help somebody else get better. That's right. All these things. Be around young people. Engage, lifelong friends. All these things help. All these things help. Exercise regularly. Eat well. All these things help. Because it all fixes. It is the great. That is the great elixir. That's the great medicine. Okay. All that. This silent killer is not only silent in our bodies. Jamal. It's also silent in society.
Right, with regards to us individually. But it's something you said, I'm going to jump into that, but something you said that made me think about something, just get your thoughts on this. One of the things that we know, we live in a world right now, and they promote smoking, even with regard to smoking. Some of y'all may get offended with this smoking marijuana. How does that impact? Is it any smoking, or is it just tobacco products?
Well, here's the thing. Marijuana, because it has been in our society, it's like more people do it, and they look at it as we're trying to get it legal. Smoking tobacco and the additive that they have to get you addictive is not in marijuana. The problem of it is we don't know what's in marijuana. It's not even, it's not even regulated. They have a group in Colorado trying to figure that out now. There's a guy that led a Harvard study. We don't know. The reason why, we don't know, is it one joint or two joints? We know in alcohol is 0.08, but we don't know what is in marijuana. Can I smoke a joint and drive? We don't know. And so you legalize it. The reason why the government is not, you cannot take the legal Colorado and states marijuana money and deposit it in banks. Banks won't take that. All right? And so you have to keep that cash because the government says it's still illegal because we do not know, because it is not regulated. We do not know. Marijuana is essentially moonshine. Because what you get from this person, you don't know what you're going to get. And so you have different people with different growers, like we grow this, we grow that. But because you grow it this way, we don't know what this person grows. So the question is, we don't know. We don't know what you get. And some of you who smoke weed, you don't know what you get. So that's the truth be told. You don't know. You think you buy from this supplier, but that supplier is I'm going to go with this one. And you just hope and pray that this is some good stuff and not laced with nothing else. I don't know, go crazy, but you don't know. And so that's why the difficulty is that when you smoke, so we say all smoke. We have to do this blanket all smoke. It's just like with security. We don't know who's crazy. I had to go to football games. Everybody has to go through security. Because right now, these days, everybody got to get pat down. Everybody got to get checked. Everybody got to go through the wand. Because we don't know. I'm not, but they don't know me. So the same thing. So what I say is this. Don't smoke. It causes blood pressure to rise.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
If you got any questions, make sure you see Dr. Jamal and make sure you see Coach Sam Carter. Gmail. Trust me, we got a lot of input with our workout. Dr. Jamal.
So but we're gonna do a silent killer. Our communities, our silence leads to complicity on some things. And some of you may be aware, and I'm surprised at some people who have not been aware of this, and now we're going to look outside of this area again, because our focus is not just it's a local thing, but it's national, it's international. Just like last week, you have a situation, the week before, not going about 10 days, that you have a young woman a lady who's on a train, a commuter train in Philadelphia, suburbs of Philadelphia, whereas she is, one, harassed by a gentleman. Two, she is also now physically assaulted. Then three, sexually assaulted. And there are people on the train, and now other information came out saying that people were coming and getting off of, because some of us thought that was just that one ride. They were like, some people came on, and finally it took someone who was not down with silence, the person who had a healthy heart, that person who was an off-duty employee for this public transit authority, then basically went and stopped the situation and then called 911. Where other people right there, and they were filming it. Now, what's being said, that some people may have been filming it so that now it will be used as evidence later on, and that's why at least the DA's office said that they're not seeking to prosecute anybody, not at all. But some people say, you know why that is, because they want people to come forward. So they think that they're going to be prosecuted, they're not going to come forward with the information. So they still need this evidence with regards to the situation that occurred. But here goes somebody on a train with people who observed what was going on, and nobody got involved. Wow. Silent killer. And that is what is going on. It's been in the news. Like I said, for the past 2 days this occurred. And so I said to people, how do you sit right there and that is going on? And some people they're afraid because if they do something, that the person might get at, come at them. And so that's why some made the excuses or made the statements. I said excuses, but people made the statement saying that they didn't want to do anything because sometimes we get concerned because some of y'all sitting out there, you hear people talk about this. I'm not getting involved with that.
It's silent.
I'm not, that's right, silent.
Just like
that pressure.
Silent.
That pressure going up.
Silent.
That pressure.
Your community burst.
That pressure going up. So nothing is being said. So the observer, I said, so what could you do? You could have done an exercise. What was the exercise? The exercise would have been something. But you said, Coach Carter, exercise was something. So pick up your phone, and then what you do, you call 911.
Right. Exercise.
911. What's going on?
Right.
Just exercise. Just a simple exercise, because you expect just a teeny bit of calorie by just picking up the phone and then saying something. That did not occur. And so we're going to make excuses about some of this. And so that happens even in our own communities, like even here, where we see injustice occurring here and we sit silent. some of us, we come with these different flavors with regards to why we don't do it. Because one, I don't want a person to attack me. But some people say, that's just a little secret. Some people said this. They said that even if you are in that environment, and if it's a group of y'all, that you don't even have to physically intervene. Woo! This is what some folks say. Psychologists say you don't even have to physically intervene. All that you gotta do is just speak out against it. Then what that does for some other people, excuse me, let me rewind. They say when that is happening, they say sometimes it's almost like a psychological malaise that come on to people where now everybody's just right there. And everybody like, Coach Carter needs to do something.
Really?
That person needs to do something. That person needs to do something.
Really?
Person over there, they're closer, why don't they do something? So everybody just like stagnant, just stop, like a deer looking at headlights, just bang, just like that. So, but what the physician, what the psychologist said, he said what can happen is that you ain't even got to go physically intervene in it. Just because say, hey, stop that. What you doing? And then what happened, it then bring everybody out of that zone, that traumatic zone, that somebody said, yeah, stop that. So now it's a snowball effect that now what happened, now all of us are not exercising against that pressure, that silent killer. And so that's what we see around the entire country and our communities where, again, this stuff is happening. And so everybody's in the zone. And now, like I said, in the zone of oppression. That you're in the zone of oppression, that again, this pressure that Coach Carter was talking about, that you come home and you're just not doing anything, you just sitting there, you just stagnant, you ain't doing nothing at all, and then it's just building. Bam, your weight just building, and then all that pressure on your kidneys, is on your heart, is on your mind. Your blood is not pumping like it should. It don't have to pump like that. It's not even healthy anymore. It's thick, like oil in you, like dirty oil in you. But then guess what? If you just do a little something, a little work, guess what? A change can come about.
A huge change.
Okay.
It's huge. So you're saying that by one person saying something, it can galvanize other persons to say something. So let me try it.
Okay.
Weeping time. Hey, stop that. Okay, they heard it. Pushing people out of their community and raising. Hey, stop that. What about that? Doing nothing but crime in the street, boys shooting each other, guys shooting each other in the street. Hey, stop that. Having food that's not affordable food in people's communities. Hey, stop that. Brother Jamal, that psychologist is like, we just need one person in the crowd to say it. And then it catches on to other people. Hey, stop that.
That's right.
You know what? I think that's what we are. We'll challenge y'all. Y'all go. Anytime y'all running up, you should, hey, stop that. That's what they should have did on Philadelphia. On the track. That was in Philadelphia.
Right, and that's what they told me. Suburban Philly said that you don't even have to physically do nothing. I ain't got to
say break awareness.
That's
so what about, okay, so tell me this, what should I say when they planning on pushing people who can only afford a fixed income in certain communities downtown because the bigger conglomerate or business want to buy? They should stand outside and say, hey, stop that, and bring awareness. You did that a couple of
See now Coach Carter's pushing me on something. So when Coach Carter's saying, so let me go and tell you really what that is. That some of y'all didn't think about this. And Coach Carter, because I was with Queen Quetta and I were together on Friday, and we were talking about this, and we talked to a reporter from the Savannah Morning News, and what we didn't came up and what was said, Queen Quetta said it, and I pushed it. That what you just said, Coach Carter, that's genocide. Genocide. What is genocide? Y'all know about suicide? That's when you kill yourself.
Kill yourself.
Homicide, you kill somebody else.
Yes.
Genocide is when you kill a group of people. That is genocide, Coach Carter. Why is that genocide? It's when you not displace the people. You scatter them. Just like, guess who else got displaced? Native Americans. And we gonna say it's genocide against them. Guess what? We now have our modern form, our contemporary form of genocide happening right here. That's the people out, people are not. It's genocide. Silent killer.
A silent killer. It's a silent killer going on right here in Savannah. Silent killer going on in America, Philadelphia. Silent killers.
Around the entire country.
Silent killers.
that when you see people being put out, being displaced, that y'all like to call re-gentrification. Now, we just gonna not call it the entire Brother Small. It's economics resegregation. That's what that is. And all part of, again, the silent killer. Now, I'll share something with you.
Say it. Say it.
I had some people with me this weekend, and as I was discussing some of this, and then I talked about, hey, so now when you now push these people away out of these communities, and that these people are basically the working class people for an industry. An industry here that's $1 billion industry for the United States and for the state of Georgia. So now when we push these people out the way, that means that if they don't have transportation, they have another pressure on them right now. You put them away where they can easily walk to the place where they're working. Now you push them away. They now on the outskirts. And then what happens? They got that's right. So you add some other pressure. You add some smoke that balls, some pigtails.
You just add
some.
You mean I try to go with green leafies. I try to go with green leafies. I try to drink water and green leafies. And you just added
some Papa John, pigtail, pig feet, hogwash, Joe Louis strip, all that in addition to it. So guess what? It's keeping up more pressure. And now I got some stress on me too, because I got to make sure I catch that bus, or I got to find, or guess what? Or I might need to try to find an Uber or something like that. So, woo! And I didn't explode. And then guess what, Coach Carter? I'm gone, but my children are still here. So what does that mean? Somebody got to not take care of my children. And if I don't have relatives, or the relatives are not able to take care of the children, because we probably in the same situation, guess what? Then that means that, and some of y'all come with your tax dollars now got to take care of, because they probably not got to go to foster care. They got to be in an orphan. They got to be put in a situation like that. So yes, and so now throw something else to you.
Oh, something else.
Something else. There's this young lady, a single parent. She committed suicide. What is suicide? You take your own life. But she was dealing with depression and the stress of raising 2 children by herself. Woo! Silent killer. So again, you push the people out, you displace the people no longer in the community. They not gonna find all type of other measures how to get now to come work at your restaurant, at your gift shop, at your your other tourist related industry. And then now throw something else out to you.
It's a lot of something else.
Throw something else out to you. Throw something else out to you. What is so funny, and this ain't Jamal saying this, some other people want to say this, they were like saying, like, why are these people not returning back to work? You know, now that you know the economy is doing a little better right now, they say the economy is trying because of this pandemic. And folks are like, but the people will probably come if you pay them a wage that they can live with.
Yes.
If you give them a wage, but then here it is, they were like, what the deal is, they want the workers to work for the minimum wages, so then that way wealth can still be generated for other people. Is that not wrong? And see, we sit silent about that.
Silent.
And then they said, guess what? The people who have been on the front line and will be on the front line of some of this right now to deal still with the pandemic element are going to be service people. They see people in their hospitality. Wait a minute. I said, oh my God, that sounds like Savannah, Georgia. Oh my God, Chatham, that sounds like Chatham County.
My wife, Keisha Gibson, calls it the plantation of tourism. The plantation, I borrowed that from her for her show. I'm bringing in the plantation of tourism.
And Coach Carter, now what was being alluded to, this comes from the president of Western Michigan University. He was throwing that out there. And so then he was putting it out saying yes, and so then other folks who have shows, they discussed this right here, and they said that, so even with regards to child care, they said that we got to also find out what can happen with regards to child care. They said, well, child care, because this again, part of the consideration that people ain't talking about and discussing, they said, so will we not try to go back to being normal? Will child care be at a level that people can afford the child care? Or will it, because of what has happened because of the pandemic, will child care go up? But then there's no support with regard to it. And oh my God, I'm going to see this, Coach Carter. Why can there not be some governmental assistance like was done for other people to acquire property in the 1800s and early governmental assistance with regard to that, to have land that now generationally affects them. So, Coach Carter, I will turn it over to you because that was just a revelation. Coach Carter.
Last week, Dr. Jamal came here and worked out. Last week, I was looking at 60 Minutes. Please go back. I can pull it up, but it went on. Please go to 60 Minutes last week, and you're going to see this wonderful segment about the Green River Drift in Wyoming. Wonderful, right? And Dr. Jamal worked out. Please, if you get an opportunity, just go to Dr. Jamal, listen, talk, go to his tour. Just please. You know, we're going to do it. My family come down. We're going to do it over the holidays. But please, look, Green River Drift. And they said it's the longest cattle drive left in America. And they take these cattle and they have to take them out of this valley because the winds go through the valley and it's so cold. If they do it, their cattle will die. And we're talking about thousands of cattle and they have to push them up through the Green River, and they let the plants grow, and so they can eat up there, and they take them up there for weeks at a time. And they said, and this property has been in their families since the 1890s and the 1900s, 1905. And I was like, this property has been on. And I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, hold on, wait. America has been here way before 1890, 1905. And they were talking about, and my daddy and my granddaddy, and we did it, and we did it. And I'm like, well, hold on. Dr. Jamal, how did they didn't talk about this on the 60 Minutes, but please go look at it last Sunday, 60 Minutes. They didn't talk about it, but please share and tell your friends. Tell them, please go look at it. Because in that instance, Dr. Jamal could give you the technicality of what he did, but essentially the United States government pretty much pushed genocide, the natives off of their property and land. And they even talked about it, how before 1890s, the natives would leave that area and go to a higher ground so they wouldn't be in the valley. They would come back. But then the government came in and pushed them off and gave. Now, Dr. Jamal had told me about this had happened, and Martin Luther King spoke to this in the night a long time ago. And Dr. Jamal, oh yeah, this is what happened. And this is how they help make people whole. This is how they help. But they pushed one group out and pushed this other group in. And so now they have this generational wealth that's been passed on from fathers, the sons, the grandsons, and they have, it's in my family, they ride on horses. I'm like, well, hold on, wait, but how did you get, and I showed Dr. Jamal, and Dr. Jamal did that like right there. He was like, yeah. But then now, people ask for the same amount of help, and it's like, oh, you want a handout. But these people have been made wealthy, and they passed this on to generations. And the natives are just pushed off their land. Go to 60 Minutes. You will see it. It is incredible. You're like, wait, hold on. How did that happen? Who was a part of that? The government did it. The United States government did that. So you have families with thousands of acres of land given to them. Yeah. They did nothing to acquire, but here you move, you got it. Yeah. Go to 60 Minutes. Look at that angle. Yeah. They talk about Green River Drift. You ask yourself before 1890s, if they got it in 1890, who had it in 1889, 1888, 1887, 1886? Who had it before them? And then if they had it, then how did they lose it? Did they sell it? Did they lose it in a bet? Dr. Jamal told me about this months ago, and I was like, 60 Minutes talked about it at a different angle. But you ask yourself the question when you look at it. When you look at this episode of 60 Minutes last week, please look at it. Green River Drift, 60 Minutes. Ask yourself, how did these people get this property and land? And then and here's the great, and this is the one of the things you got to get into this. You got her dad who has a son that's 5. And the only reason why he's acquiring it because he was just born to the right sperm and egg. He did nothing. He did nothing. His daddy did nothing to get it. He's gonna pass it to his son who did nothing to get it. The granddaddy did not do nothing to get it, and the great granddaddy didn't do nothing to get it. They just have the land. And this child is gonna have the land. No. And they got a reporter standing next to them like, hey, how you doing? And the son just kind of like standing on top of the thing. And we get upset when people on the plantation of tourism can't afford, get pushed out, can't afford to drive in. Now they tell me, oh, you want to pay them more money. Oh, they don't deserve more money. You want to give them minimum wage. Now they need health care. Now, they need daycare. And you're talking about pennies compared to vast lands.
That's right.
Dr. Jamal told me about this months ago. You all know it. You all know what's happening, but a lot of you sit silent.
And it's killing us, and you think it's okay. You're not even going to the physician to even find out the routine that you need to do to exercise. Because that's what it is. You don't even go to the physician to find out what exercise is needed to help you to try to recreate the community, to better the community, to recreate, reshape your body. That is your community. The body of your community. You didn't even do anything about that. And so here it is. You can homestead and give these people thousands of acres of land, And you all tout this in American history. Y'all, this is so dog. The Great American West and all that.
Oh, Great River Drift.
They got 2,000 acres. They got 300
This is the families since 1905.
And y'all marvel at that. You talk about this. You tell my friend, they got acres out there in Montana, 900 acres. You talk about all this right here. But then somebody say, oh, why don't we help these service workers with regards to child care? No, they're lazy. No, they're lazy. No, that's wrong. No, look at they want handouts. They don't bring the groups up by their bootstraps. What the hell?
It's crazy.
You attack them. And I'm gonna throw it out there. And some of you all may get mad and get offended with me. That when you have these Republican, I'm going to say these Republican idiots who are spouting that stuff, and you say nothing to them, silent killer. When you have these conservative Democrats who spout this type of stuff,
silent killer.
The libertarians who spout this,
silent killer.
The socialists who spout,
silent killer.
The ones who are apolitical who spout,
silent killer.
Then you also spouted silent killer. Going against your own best interests. Not even understanding. I'm like saying, wait a minute now. They got this. This is part of the story. Then now, I'm going to push this out again. What was given to people. And people tired of that. When we go and look at the thing, VA home loans. We look at these people who go on the great generation that they're called. They come back to the United States. And so now they begin having these subdivisions, these communities. They're not living there. And they've got these loans where the African Americans who are part of the great generation didn't fare the same way. And the VA loans and other stuff, and the GI bills and all that. That again, restrictions put on them. A red light put on them also. But for other people, they have all the beauty, they have all the greatness, and again, they are healthy. But where with you all, you're not healthy. And then some of y'all sit silent. Then you all get a little offended when somebody then decides to call it out. Oh, we're on the train. We're on the commuter train. We're on the commuter bus. We now see some wrong being done. And so when somebody said, hey, that's wrong, the rest of you psychologically, because you also press like, why Coach Carter saying that? Why don't he just be quiet?
That's right.
Why don't he just be quiet? Why don't he just try to get along? It's just a little rape. That's all it is. It's just a little sexual assault. Like, hey, who knows what was going on with them? They might be involved. Then you start rationalizing all this evil stuff, and then that evil continue to rise. And guess what? That evil that bust your heart. Oh, I forgot to say this right here. What happened because you think because that's somebody else, you ain't got no connection. But it might turn out that somebody related to you or you might go through the same thing. And then when you like, cool, you're not having that heart attack in your community, you having that high blood pressure in your community, giving you a stroke, because your diabetes all act up. You're like, where's somebody to help me right now?
Right.
Oh, I've fallen. I can't get up. Because you ain't gave nobody information on how to help folks. You ain't gave nobody information. You ain't decided to speak up. So then that way, guess what? Then you die silently. You are dying because you chose not to say anything. Woo.
Dr. Jamal, I pulled it up. Please go look at it. Please go look at it. There it is right there. It's right there. I pulled it up on the phone. Please go look at this. Please go look at it. And so you will see perspective. Now, again, they don't talk about our perspective, but I put what Dr. Jamal had already taught me. When you look at this, it will bring it in what they're doing to people, what they can't get, and what these people got. Please go look it up. The Green River Drift.
And it's all a part, again, the inequality that happens to all of us. And that, again, when we have the ability to be healthy, you have the ability to not go and work this on out. You have the ability to not go do something. But then you sit silent, and then you try to figure out why you're in the condition that you're in. You're in the condition that you're in right now because you sat silent. You did no movement.
Your community is in the condition it is because you're silent. Speak up. The psychiatrist said, do it, speak up. Say something. Say something. We got a group of people who've emailed Dr. Jamal. We won't say who they are, but we up to about 8. We're going to get started in November. Dr. Jamal, this is wonderful. We talk about it. We both decide, they were like, yeah, that's a good person. Yes. We up to about good 8 strong. That's more than enough to start. Dr. Jamal, he's gonna come in sometime. Right now, they're gonna start out in a small little group, and then he's gonna come in, special guest, set the tone. We're gonna keep you updated in progress. Again, we want you you have to be active doing something in the community, not just in here, but you got to be a part of doing something in the community.
For the benefit of the community.
Benefit
of the community, not keeping the same situation occurring, not being a watchdog or pit bulldog or a guardian for the system of oppression.
Yes.
That again is about elevation. That you are looking out for the people who might be people trying to displace. But you're trying to do something to make sure that doesn't happen because you understand all the ramifications. I see some of you, when they are displacing people, you never thought about what's going to happen to people, how to get back into the city, or get back, get to work, or think about what's going to happen with regard to child care for them. You weren't thinking about that. So again, we don't need that type of person. We need a person who now, their mind is not popping and clicking and snapping and saying, wait a minute, this pandemic is not causing.